So let's start the UniGCS app and have a look at the switches and buttons and controls on the UniRC 10 that are different to RC7 Pro. And well, guess what? The first thing that has happened as loading this is that it currently wants an update to 3.0.2 of the UniGCS application. Let's just cancel that for a second, because we can come back and do the update ourselves. What I want to do is have a quick look at the settings and see which version we're running. Well, look at that. We're running 2.0.8, so that's quite an old version. I guess I'll just switch to using Google for Maps. We need to run 3.0.2. It's the latest and best version. The simplest way to actually do that is probably just to exit from the UniGCS app and start it again, because it'll do a version check when you start it up. Right, so we are going to update to version 3.0.2 of the UniGCS application. So now I'm running the latest version of UniGCS, and let's just confirm that. There it is, 3.0.2. And actually you can see that very clearly, because now the layout and the structure of the menus has changed. There's an awful lot of extra menu options in here. Not going to go into that right now. I have a separate video about that that talks about the new UniGCS. What I want to talk about is the switches and buttons on the UniRC 10. The first thing that is kind of interesting with the new version of the UniGCS and the way that this controller works is there are no longer 6 buttons for flight modes along the bottom. There were on the UniRC 7 5 buttons on the left and 6 buttons on the right. Now you get 3 buttons down each side, and the way that that's set is by this switch here in the system menu. So I'll just show you where I went for that again. So that was basically into the controller setup, down into system, and then right here under flight mode. So the flight mode is currently set to 6th gear. 6th gear means that it uses a single channel for the flight mode, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the actual flight mode buttons that control what is sent over the flight mode channel, which is currently set to channel 5. Now, I like to fly with channel 8 as my flight mode channel, because then I can get all of my base controls set up under 5, 6, and 7. I do things like arming. So we're going to make that channel 8 for flight mode. And you could change 6th gear to be a separate set of just 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, or independent buttons, as in those buttons would just work as buttons. So let's just run through the channels again so that we can see how the switches and dials work. So currently we have our standard RC controls on channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are J1 to J3 and J4. Then we have J5 for the right-hand extra mini joystick, and there is J6, which is left and right on that joystick, and then not set up, but there is J7 and J8 that are on the left joystick and can be set to output on 2 additional channels. Currently, as configured, there is switch A, which is a 3-position switch, and switch B set up on channel 7, and then our flight modes are programmed in on channel 8. Now, what happened with channel 8 was that I preempted what was switch C, because that's currently set to switch D, which is this toggle switch, which is a 3-position toggle switch, switch D. That's on channel 9. Switch E is channel 10. Switch F is channel 11, and switch C, I preempted that from the flight control switch. So that is switch C, not currently programmed to anything. Now what we have is switch 1, which is a momentary switch currently, and switch 2. So the 2 switches on each side here. And then we have on the back, switch 3 and switch 4, not currently programmed. And there's 2 dials as well, which are not currently programmed, and 2 potentiometers, which are also not currently programmed. And then lastly, we have this home button, which is currently set to a momentary switch on channel 16. So I love the fact that the UniRC 10 has even more switches and dials and buttons than the RC7. That's one of the things I loved about the RC7. So more is better, more is more. In this case, it's really nice to have so many options about how I can control the vehicle. The last really distinguishing feature of UniRC 10 is extended range and triple frequencies. Let's go and have a look at the frequency options that we have available here. So the frequency band settings are under image transmission settings. Now with the provided or standard out of the box 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz radio, which uses channel adaptation, which means it'll channel hop to find the best frequency available. This controller has been tested to 20 to 25 kilometer range with flying kind of an urban suburban background with flights up to 120 meters above the ground. So basically normal legal flights, for example, here in Canada. There is another option to do what they call sub 2G, and there's a warning for that, because sub 2G is, as far as I understand it, isn't a legal channel to be used for RC in Canada and most other countries, except, as far as I know, China and Hong Kong. So it gives you a warning when you select it, and I'd be saying I will never select that. I don't understand and I'm not going to do it. So that means that we're limited to 2.4 and 5.8, which is with channel adaptation, which means it'll pick the best bandwidth, the best channel mode available, the best frequency for the particular flight being flown based on actual interference and detection of the link quality. That's probably the story about the frequency band availability on this controller. It's better and can fly longer on 2.4 and 5.8, which is the same frequencies used by the UniRC 7, unless you're flying this in China. If you're flying it in China, good luck to you. You have more options. Well, that was just a quick unboxing and overview of the features of the UniRC 10 system. What I'm going to do next is take the air unit and put it into a plane, then take the whole system out to the field and try the features, the functionality, and the range, and see how far this thing can fly. Tim the Plane Man, over and out. If you like this video, please click the like button. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss any interesting videos in the future. And please share this video with others. It's really important. It helps me to keep this channel going.